Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Music Scrap, the Musical Scrapper. Tonight I'm going to share with you my journal that I made for my Lifebook 2015 adventure. I know originally it says in the planner, in the lessons, to not to work on individual pieces of paper because then we'll bind them later, but I don't work that way. I can't imagine a whole year's of paper hanging around here somewhere. I'm not that organized. I love to have mess around me, as you can see. So for me to have pages here, pages there, or in a file folder or somewhere, they may as well be in a book already. So I just decided to put a journal together. I can still add pages if I want to. You can punch them and then just snip at each of the holes and then insert it in. So there, I can add pages if I need to. So when I was pondering, I knew I was going to bind it. That way you can flip it over and work on the one page at a time. And so I knew I wanted a spiral bound book, which meant I would have a chipboard cover. I didn't want to cover it with paper like I do my mini albums. So then I have tons of washi tape and I don't use it enough at all. So I thought, oh, I'll just cover it all with washi tape. So I got about 4 pieces of washi tape on, starting to cover it. And I was like, no, I don't like that. And I had decided to do the black chipboard because then that way you don't have to do anything to the edges. No matter what treatment you use, whether you collage papers on or my washi tape or whatever, I would already have a black border, so I wouldn't have to worry about inking edges and whatever. So that's why I chose to use the black chipboard. And then I thought, you know what? I love stencils and I love PBO Dynacolor paints. So that is what I decided to use. I decided to use stencils and 3 colors of PBO paint. So if you've never seen these paints, they are to die for. Now, they're much different on black chipboard than they are on white paper or cream colored paper. They almost take on the second color and not the first. So let me give you an example. All right, if I cut a piece of sponge here, the 3 colors I used, and these are all the iridescent Dynacolors. I used orange yellow, number 353. So I'm just going to put a smidge on this piece of paper here. And I'll show you the color. Now the orange is the one that stays most true to its actual color when it goes on to the black. So I thought I'd show you that one first. So there's the orange. Now the thing is, it has a yellow iridescence. See, when it hits the light, you can see a yellow iridescence. The second color I used is their green blue. So it's green with a blue iridescent hue to it. Okay, so you can see the beautiful teal color, but then when I move the paper, okay, so you can see both the blue and the teal there, depending on the way the light hits it. And then my favorite, and even my big one's getting low of my favorite, is the green yellow. Oh, and way too much. Oh dear. I'm gonna have to put that on a... I have to see if I can put that back in. Getting some of it to go back in the hole. I'll spread it on this paper, and I'll use this paper for something. But there's the green yellow. A yummy lime green. And you can see the yellow iridescence in it as the light hits it. So much shimmer in it, it actually causes glare. So there's what they look like when you put them on white. Now you can see, oops, sorry, clean my finger. You can see the difference. That's the same color. But when you put the Dynacolors on the black, it seems that for the most part, it's the secondary, it's the iridescent color that comes through. So instead of the green coming through more, like on the white paper, the blue comes through more. And here, with the green, instead of the green coming through more, the yellow comes through more on the black. Now the orange is a little closer to its original color. It is a little bit more yellow than orange, but it is a little bit truer on the black. Now I will use this paper. I will punch tabs or whatever with it. So here is my page, the front cover. So I will show you the stencil that I used. This is a stencil by Patty Tully Parrish, and she makes design stencils for istencil.com. Sorry, let me get my white piece of paper under here for you. So you can see that I did it this way. And so I had to move it and do 2 passes of the design. So of course the black chipboard shows through the stenciling. All right. So that's the first page. The label is just black cardstock. I stamped with white Stampin' Up! Ink. But I had to go over it with my white gel pen in order to brighten it up, because I did go over my whole my front cover with golden matte medium, which I keep in a Dove dish soap liquid bottle, because they don't clog and it comes out and you can squirt it out easily what you need. And I used a foam brush to apply it. I only did it to the front and the back just to protect it as it's sitting on my desk and that kind of thing. So when I put the matte medium over the white Stampin' Up! Ink, it faded it just enough, it absorbed it more into the black paper. So I went over it again because I wanted the title to be vibrant white against the black. So now the inside front cover, I used just the blue, and I used this stencil, which is from a file on the Silhouette store. So I cut it with my Cameo, cut the stencil with the Cameo, and I did it in the blue. Then I put some dividers in. Now the dividers I did was with some Making Memories. No. Yes. Just with some scrapbook paper that I had hanging around. Alright. And there's what the white ink looks like on the black paper. That's the Stampin' Up! White ink. So it does come out fairly nice. Not a brilliant white, but it certainly shows up and does a trick. I edged it as well. And then I have a tab. Now what I did was, as I was painting and had leftover paint, I painted an entire sheet of black, just Michael's brand cardstock with the 3 different colors. And I got 25 tabs using my We Are Memories Keeper tab punch. So if you fold the paper in half and put it down into the, cut it at 1.5 inches, and then put it down into the slot so that the top here doesn't cut. So just down below this cut, and then it'll, with the paper folded, it will punch through, not heavyweight cardstock, but it'll punch through like scrapbook paper or just regular, like the 65-pound cardstock. It will cut through the 2 layers without any problem. So that way you can make folded tabs instead of just the 1 layer tab. So that's how I made the folded tabs. So this section has hot press watercolor paper, and it's Arches watercolor paper. Then this section has cold press watercolor paper, another divider. And then before my next section, I decided to put another divider here. I was thinking I might be able to make it big enough to hold all my PDFs and stuff and lessons, but there was no way I could. So I just stuck it in here anyway before my next section. So this, I used this stencil, and this is an iStencils stencil from their collection in the 3D section. Isn't that cool? So I did it with the green, and of course the yellow comes through, and then the other side I did with the orange. And then this section is of rough, it's still Canson. It's still Canson watercolor paper, but it was just a small pad of 10 sheets, and it said heavyweight rough watercolor paper. So the interesting thing is it's not as rough, not nearly as rough as the cold press paper, but it's not quite as smooth as the hot press. It's closer to the hot press feel, but it's okay. And so that's that. And then on the inside cover, oops, sorry, I've got stuff flying around here. Then the back inside cover, and I got paint on it here, which is, oh well. That's gonna happen because I'm gonna be painting in the book, aren't I? Alright, so that's the back inside cover, and this is just a stencil I created myself, that I designed myself. Chevron. Alright, and I just used the 3 colors. And then the back uses another stencil from a file in the Silhouette store that I bought. And this is it here. Let me flip it over here. Oops, hold on. I can't do it with one hand. Sorry. The book's too heavy. There we go. Alright. So there's the back cover, and there's with the stencil. Oops, I guess it would be this way. Yeah. So there's the stencil. So I look forward to working on and filling this up as this year progresses. I've never done life book before, and the reason I'm doing it is because I have to kind of expand my repertoire of techniques using paints and things, and not just keep repeating the same things over and over and over again. So thank you for coming to see my book, and I'll see you next time. Bye.